Zoo Day Disaster. Chapter 2. SpongeBob stared down miserably at the giant oyster. Come on, he said. Wake up already! But Clemu kept snoring. Then SpongeBob got an idea. He pulled a bag of seed peanuts out of his pocket. Then he picked out one small peanut and looked around to see if anyone was watching. The coast was clear. He held the peanut high over his head, then whipped it at the giant oyster with a grunt. It bounced harmlessly off the tough purple shell. Clemu stirred, then opened his mouth and made a puzzled sound. SpongeBob was thrilled. I think it's working, he said, grinning. Clemu shifted around, first facing in one direction, then the other, then back to his original position. Hey, Patrick! SpongeBob called. Clemu was waking up! Patrick ran back into the arena. Oh boy! He shouted. Did I miss it? SpongeBob smiled. Nope, the show's about to begin, he said confidently. SpongeBob was right about that, but the show wasn't exactly what he had in mind. Instead of performing dazzling tricks, Clemu threw open his gigantic mouth and let out the loudest sob anyone had ever heard. Wah! He cried. Clemu's cry was so loud it blew SpongeBob and Patrick off their feet. They had to cling tightly to the red safety rope, or they would have been blown right out of the arena. As Clemu cried and leaped around his pit, two zookeepers ran in to see what was the matter. One of them carefully walked up to the giant oyster, patted his shell reassuringly, and said, Easy now, it's me, Joe, remember? But Clemu was so upset he gave out a powerful mighty roar, grabbed Joe with his powerful tongue, and hurled him out of the stadium. Joe went flying like a rocket, streaming all the way. Smiling, Patrick elbowed SpongeBob. Now this is a show, he said. Clutching his bag of sea peanuts, SpongeBob looked worried. Outside the stadium, a loudspeaker blared forth a warning to everybody. Attention, zoo patrons! Clemu the giant oyster is on an emotional rampage. Please scream and run around in circles. Everyone screamed and ran around in circles. They even let go of their free balloons and let them float away. Thanks for coming, said the friendly voice over the loudspeaker. Back inside Oyster Stadium, Clemu was leaping around his pit, smashing into the walls and destroying everything in his way. He was also still crying very loudly. Patrick and SpongeBob sat in the stands of the stadium watching. A zookeeper ran up to them. You boys better get out of this area, he said. Pronto! He looked on at Clemu, who was still crashing around. There's nothing more dangerous than an emotionally disturbed oyster! Suddenly, the zookeeper pointed an accusing finger at SpongeBob, who cowered behind his bag of sea peanuts. You didn't do anything that might have caused this horrible tragedy, did you? He asked. Said SpongeBob. No way, said Patrick firmly. Only a bully would upset a gentle giant. He turned to his friend. Right, SpongeBob? SpongeBob looked down at his bag of sea peanuts and quickly hid them behind his back. Right, he said. Then he bit his lower lip, knowing he had just lied. Stay tuned for Chapter 3, coming up soon.